What is up, humans and mutants alike? I am Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. Krakoa has burned to the ground and left many people who would never pick up a Spider-Man comic to actually consider doing so. All praise Hickman, praise unto thee. He will live on in our hearts and souls as he continues fixing the Marvel Universe, one superhero at a time. But where does that leave us with the X-Men? When will we be able to brush off our Hellfire Gala attire and walk the red carpet once again? Today is not that day. Fortunately, as a godless, familyless heathen, I am left an empty shell of a man-child. The only thing I have in life are my memories of the past. What is this? Is this the second coming? The show that gave so many people inspiration in their youth is now the only thing keeping them from taking that plunge. No pressure, Marvel Animation. Let's dive into the show, because if I stop talking, the bad thoughts will come creeping in. The show starts with Roberto da Costa, also known as Sunspot, being taken by the Friends of Humanity. Who is Sunspot? He's an Afro-Brazilian. Sometimes he's a very white Afro-Brazilian, until fans complain. Who are the Friends of Humanity? You know the people complaining about this show? Pretty much them. They're using Sentinel blasters. Mega Man would be proud. Storm and Bishop come in and begin their assault on the FOH. Who needs Viagra when you have Storm yelling wind in your ears? Cyclops comes in and does a sweet 90s callback that goes harder than my pod collection. The FOH happen to have a Sentinel arm in their presence. They make waste to the anti-mutant team with ease. Wait, the show's art direction flows seamlessly and they storyboarded a proper fight scene? Huh. Americans who actually care about the art of animation didn't think that existed. Back at school, Remy is making beignets. Why are they so square? Who was in charge of drawing the square beignets? Scott wants everyone to be more of a role model for the students, but everyone thinks he is just being a dad boner. Morph pretends to be the dead professor and probably gives everyone a little bit of PTSD. Thanks, Morph. Jean is pregnant, but with which one? Probably one of the boring ones. Roberto wakes up and finds himself in Beast Lab. He was having a nightmare of washing dishes. Why would the better Tony Stark ever do dishes? They tell him to stay here for a few days until he gets the images of New Mutants out of his head. He's bored, so naturally Jubilee tries to kill him in the danger room. He isn't impressed. Oh no, Wolverine tries to kill him in the danger room. He is a little impressed. Scott looks at a picture of First Class. Where's Iceman? Jean wants Scott to give up the 9 to 5, but Scott is all about that grind set now that the professor is gone. Roberto runs off. Scott tries to play the role of daddy, but Logan ain't having it. They go and find Roberto hanging out in a club. Jubilee dances with Roberto and starts a fire hazard. The rest of the X-Men scare off some FOH members. Scott interrogates Skyrick. Hey, it's that guy that killed Charles. Looks a little different though. Did you dye your hair? He doesn't give any info away. Oh right, psychics exist in this world. Jean, do your thing. Jean uses Cerebro to get into his mind. Uh-oh, Jean is having a psychic master mold meltdown. She is able to find where Peter Dinklage is. They take off in the X-Jet. On their way, suddenly a Sentinel tears through the ship and the X-Men plummet to Earth. Oh no, is everyone okay? Yeah, it's the first episode. What? They aren't going to pull a Morph a second time.
What about more?
Scott says the line.
I'm Scott Young.
They run into Peter Dinklage. The most generic bad guy, good guy dialogue is exchanged, and I gotta say, I'm all for it. They engage in battle. The show makes you wonder what Marvel spent all their money on What If. I could tell you it wasn't the animation. Everyone plays around until the Omega level mutant comes in and takes care of business.
Ancient sands, heed my command.
Great, now I have to add sand to words that turn me on. Gambit charges Logan's claws. He bounces on Morph shaped as Blob and flies towards the Sentinel, chopping its head off. Oh my god, it's just like the good old times when Wolverine couldn't stab anyone with his claws or show any blood. Welcome back, Logan. I missed you, you piece of egg-sucking gutter trash. Back at the mansion, Jubilee tells Roberto the story of the first episode of X-Men. Hey wait, that's also this episode. You just soft rebooted me, I saw what you did there. The gang gets down on the courts. They prove that white men can jump. Jean and Scott tell them that they are leaving the mansion to try to raise their kid when Magneto comes in. He says this is mine now. He looks at Rogue and says you are mine now. What? A Ferris wheel begins falling apart. Magneto comes in saving humans and mutants alike. Aw, he's wearing the big dumb purple M. That means he's a good guy. Jean and Scott are concerned about Magneto, but Scott is like, no, the professor doesn't trust me. They meet with Magneto. He gave Calypso and the Morlocks a home on Genosha instead of constantly fighting with them. He's getting all superior Spider-Man up in here. No one trusts him. He talks trash and asks why Jean and Scott haven't left yet. It looks like they're staying. Magneto gets touchy-feely with Rogue. It's getting all Age of Apocalypse up in here. The military comes in to arrest Magneto. He threatens to give him a buzz cut, but he turns himself in. Outside of the court hearing, the FOH, Trumpers, and people with too much free time show up because of a Facebook invitation sent by a Russian bot to protest Magneto. Oh look, it's the shot. Time to orgasm. Magneto gives his defense when suddenly, oh no, the protesters are storming the government building. I love fiction. Logan goes to help the team when suddenly, Jean goes into labor. One of the protesters is the executioner. No, not like that. Yeah, that's it. Cyclops and the Executioner fight. Morph comes in, Lady Death stroking it up, and then he lays the big guns down with Colossus, and he finally ends it with my starter in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Is it too much to ask for someone to choke me while saying,
Do not think. Be silent. Heed my commands and you shall survive.
at the hospital, the doctor won't deliver the baby. He's a homophobic racist. Rogue touches the doctor. Rogue's the doctor now. Time to deliver a baby. I hope I don't touch it. Magneto is free and helps Storm in the government building. The two of them make a Faraday cage. Damn it, I don't have any bars on my phone anymore. Executioner comes in and attempts to fire on Magneto, but Storm takes the brunt of the attack. It seems that the weapon has taken Storm's power. This enrages Magneto and he takes the delegates to space. But he doesn't kill them. He calls them something that many good human beings get called every day.
Ingrate, sycophant, worm.
Back at the hospital, Jean gives birth to the boring one. Logan hangs back and does a little bit of peeping on a child in his throuple. Yeah, I heard what I said, I'm keeping it in. Magneto is pardoned and Genosha is given aid. Not only that, but Genosha will become part of the UN. Yeah, f*** you Taiwan and Kosovo. Mutants matter more than you. Scott feels somewhat safer now about Magneto. That night, Storm leaves, not feeling that she fits in any longer. Also, Magneto and Rogue touch. Remy is a cuck. Hey, why does his baby look 6 months old already? Hey, someone is knocking at the door. Who could it be? Oh no, it's Scott's other baby mama, Madeline Pryor. She cucked Scott. In the comics, she's currently cucking his brother Havoc. Not gonna read into that. Which one is the real Jean? Thanks for watching. If you are going to be at WonderCon March 29th through the 31st, we will be out in full force. Come and say hi. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember, the robots will kill you. So go live your life.